Oh my God. It's like technology just moves in slow motion. It's like every time I try to access technology, it's always just moving at its own speed, which is incredibly slow. To all of the tinfoil hat wearers in the world who believe that technology is taking over, trust and believe that uh the world where we enter an iRobot-ish situation is a world that is terrible for all of us because then everything will move significantly more slowly. The time that it takes for a computer to pull up an image is the same amount of time that it takes for me to try to fly in the air using my farts. I could stand in the air and let out a fart and fly more quickly than it would take for a computer to pull up a picture of Bobby from K-pop Demon Hunters. Welcome back to another episode of Pancake Doodle, starring your favorite bald man, Kwameker. So, I today am good. Let me restart. Welcome back to Pancake Doodle, starting your favorite bald black man, Kwameker. Sounded like Dracula there for a second, but basically, we are going to be drawing Bobby from K-pop Demon Hunters. I have a picture right here, wherever it shows up in the image, and we are going to be drawing him today. Why am I doing this? Okay, so I'm going to be upfront with everybody watching this video. I have never seen the movie. I know, just listen. Okay, I haven't seen it, but I do want to watch it. It looks really good from the trailers. It looks amazing. The animation looks sleek. The voice acting looks really good. The characters are all animated and designed very uniquely. And I really like it. I just haven't had the time to check it out myself. However, I want to. It looks really good. I have high hopes, high expectations for it. Even as a non-K-pop fan, I don't think you have to be to watch it. But all of you guys who have watched it, it's one of the biggest movies of the year. And to all of you who have watched it, I'm curious what you think of it. You think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Do you have to be a K-pop fan to watch it? Let me know down in the comments. But I really, really think it looks good regardless of whether I've known it. I just say here, I've never listened to any K-pop. Have nothing against it. Nothing against it. If you like K-pop, you like K-pop. Hey, you do you. But me personally, I am not the biggest fan of it. Not anything against. Okay, let me just shut up before I dig myself into the largest of holes that I will never be able to crawl out of and just draw this character. So, why did I specifically choose Bobby? Well, I chose Bobby because, and we'll start with the hair. I should say that first. We'll start with the hair. I think it might be the easiest thing, and then we can go down farther and get his face. But the reason I'm doing Bobby of all the characters is because he's voiced by Ken Jeong. And Ken Jeong is one of my favorite actors slash voice actors. I've seen him in a lot of different works. And I think he's really funny. He's one of the funniest actors that I've ever seen, kind of, especially in the new age. I think of all time, it's really tough. There are a lot of actors and comedians who I really put up there in my all-time favorites, including but not limited to Robin Williams. I think is one of the best of all time. I think a lot of people would agree unanimously that he's at least one of the best, and he definitely inspired a generation of comedians who came after him. I also think I'm trying to think Eddie Murphy, huge one. John Witherspoon, huge one. I'm just mainly listing comedians, but I think overall Kim Jeong has a huge influence in the modern era of acting and voice acting. And I really like some of the roles that he's done. So that's why I picked Bobby. I think he might have been the only actor that I recognized out of the list that I saw in K-pop Demon Hunters, which no offense to any of the actors who were in it. I mean, I'm not sure if they watched this show, but yeah, I really, really have high hopes for it. It kind of reminds me a little bit of, and this might be a comparison that it gets a lot, Big Hero 6, a little bit, not because the concept looks technological or anything, but because the animation looks really sleek. It looks really sleek, and also it kind of reminds me a little bit of what Disney did with Win or Lose, which, yes, the characters were designed incredibly differently in that show, but the way they move and the fluidity with which they move reminded me a lot of what this show is doing or what this movie is doing. I don't know. I heard that there is a show and there's also a movie. I'm so confused. I don't know. But anyway, because I haven't seen the show, I figured that I would give you guys my prediction on what the show is actually about. So here is a clip of what I believe K-pop Demon Hunters is about.
I'm doing K-pop and I'm fighting demons. Ah! I'm on the hunt for K-pop demons. Psychological demons.
Okay, so that was my own interpretation of what the plot of this show movie. I'm just gonna call it a show movie is. Yeah. So on a scale of 1 to 10, you can comment down below what you think, how accurate you think my portrayal was. If you think that it was not accurate, well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. That was not my intention. No, please, please. I already hear you unsubscribing and disliking. You. Oh gosh. Okay, I just need to shut up before I just keep digging this hole even farther. To the point where I'm at the center of the earth, and all I can eat are the molten lava rock cores. It would kind of be delicious, though. It'd kind of be like I don't know, kind of s'more like. What am I talking about? Anyway, yeah, I think this character looks kind of cool too. He's giving a little bit of a cool nerd type of vibe. Does he have dimples? Oh no, that's a half mustache look. I'm not a huge fan of that. I'm not gonna lie, it's not a huge fan of that half mustache look right there. But yeah, overall, I'm definitely going to give this show a try. I'm not going to be in the dark forever so that you guys can always yell at me and be like, why didn't you check out K-pop Demon Hunters? Trust me, I will. I will. It's all good. I always find that when I don't watch what other people watch, usually people get upset, and that's never my intention. My intention isn't to be a contrarian. Just be like, I'm not going to watch it, because I know there are some people who are like that, and I really don't. I really don't believe that. Like, I believe that if you are the type of person who doesn't want to watch something because everybody else likes it or everybody else is giving it good ratings, hey, you do you. I can be like that sometimes. But I also believe that if something looks halfway decent, it's worth a try. Even usually, I don't like what a lot of other people like, I've found out. And then sometimes I do. So I don't know. It's weird. I like to think maybe I'm neurodivergent in some ways. And then in other ways, I'm just like, yeah, whatever, I give it a try. And then sometimes it works. And I see something like Big Hero 6, like I mentioned earlier, or I see something like, what's something that I watch that everybody else likes or plays? Like, I mean, there are lots of things that fit in that description. Yeah, I lost it. I have no idea. I have no idea. I think the toughest thing here is going. Yeah, I already messed up. I messed up a little bit, but I think the toughest thing here is going to try to infuse his face with his hair. Just see what happens. By the way, speaking of Win or Lose, really great series. I think it's actually vastly underrated. I think that, well, from what I've heard, some people don't really like it because they think that it's, and this is again based on what I heard, not, take it with a grain of salt because not everyone has the same opinion. But some people have criticized it because it's a show that kind of does the same thing that it has the same theme as a lot of other sports shows. And I kind of get that to an extent. I mean, if you want to say that a lot of, especially modern sports shows, are emphasizing the theme of, oh, this is a character who doesn't really want to be in sports, but their parents are pressuring them to be in sports, but they're neurodivergent. So, they're the not popular kid and they're kind of a nerd and nobody really understands them. And they're like, I don't know if I want to be good. I feel like, yeah, you kind of seen that theme a lot recently, but there are still ways of writing that where it can seem unique. And I think the way that what's it called? I almost forgot the name. That Win or Lose, that they write their characters is still unique in a way that it gives you multiple perspectives, because that's literally the show. It gives you multiple perspectives into varying degrees of personality types. What's that word that I'm thinking of? Not personality types, but not character arcs. I don't remember. There's like another word that I really like for it, but if I remember it, I'll remember it. But yeah, I really like Win or Lose. I think it's pretty good. Even if you're not a sports show fan, I would recommend it because the comedy is pretty good. And I think the like I said, the way they wrote some of the characters is actually pretty unique. Even for a show that follows a lot of themes that you could argue you see in a lot of other stuff as well. But it's like, who cares? Okay, so no offense to people who have the half mustache look that this guy is clearly rocking, but it's just not for me. I'm giving him. I mean, they gave him a cat smile in this picture, so I'm giving him just doing justice to the way the artists are doing their characters. You know, hopefully, maybe not. You guys are all like, you ruined him. You ruined my favorite character, Bobby, from K-pop Demon Hunters. You are so. And then you're going to go riot in the streets. Don't riot in the streets. Stop rioting. Okay? If I mess up on somebody and you guys don't like it, hey, it's all good. Art is art. I still like to think that, if I do a character as well as I can, I did it as well as I can. And that's okay. That's perfectly okay. It is okay to be yourself. It's always, always try your best, even if it leads to mistakes. That is probably the most cliche quote that anybody has ever given to anything, anywhere. Anything, anywhere at the end of time. Yes, Kwame. Yes, that is the name of a movie with half the words that you mentioned. I watched that movie once and I love it. Well, love is actually a strong word. I don't remember enough about it actually because I watched it, I want to say 2, 3 years ago. And me not even remembering when exactly it came out, so I can't be sure. But no, it wasn't that long. It was like 2, 3 years ago. I watched it with friends who showed it to me, and I was like, "This is weird, but it's really good. I really like it." And they were saying that it was some of their favorite movies, and they're nerds like me, so they know their stuff when it comes to good movies. And I'm like, all right, I see it. It's definitely good as far as being compared to other surreal movies. Because if you watch a movie like, say, Spaceballs, I think I watched Spaceballs a while ago, and I wanted to because it was always that thing that I think sounded like a classic. Because a lot of people really like it, especially in the niche of just surrealist movies. So I was like, all right, I'll watch it. And I don't know, I thought it was all right. There are some movies that I watch that are considered iconic that I look at, and then I'm like, I don't feel like I like it as much as everybody else does. And that neurodivergence comes up. Maybe I'm just different from everybody else. Maybe that's okay. To be continued.